the man who bought the ocean. Everyone in the town knew him by his strange nickname, though few remembered his real one. He was a small, energetic foreigner with a dramatic voice, a twisting mustache, and a habit of waving his hands as if he were always conducting invisible music in the air. He spoke in a charming, broken mixture of languages and had a talent for turning even the smallest problem into a grand tragedy. He arrived in the city full of dreams and big plans. In his mind, fortune was waiting just around the corner. He believed deeply in opportunity, in clever deals, and most of all in the idea that land, any land, was the key to wealth. One sunny morning, he heard about a marvelous investment. Water lots, they called them. The words alone sounded rich, important, mysterious. He was told that these were pieces of land near the river, and that one day, when the city grew larger, they would surely become very valuable. The salesman spoke quickly, confidently, and with a smile that suggested easy money and future luxury. Our enthusiastic friend did not fully understand the details, but he understood the dream. He imagined tall buildings, fine houses, maybe even his own grand residence standing proudly where his land would be. He saw himself strolling along in fine clothes, admired by everyone, a man who had made a brilliant investment. So he bought them. He spent nearly all his money on those water lots and walked away feeling like a genius. For a while, he told everyone about his smart purchase. He bragged about his future fortune. He spoke of business, of growth, of how the city would surely expand and make him rich. Then one day, someone decided to show him his property. They took a small boat and rowed out across the river. As the boat glided over the rippling water, the man leaned forward eagerly, scanning the horizon. "Where are my lands?" he asked. The boat slowed. The guide pointed down. "Right here." He looked, and looked again, and then he realized the terrible truth. There was nothing to see. No fields, no ground, no solid earth. Only water. Endless, moving, mocking water. His precious lots were not beside the river. They were under it. At first he laughed nervously. Surely this was a joke, a misunderstanding. Then panic crept into his voice. Then despair. Then full, theatrical misery. He stood up in the boat, nearly tipping it over, waving his arms at the sky and shouting that he was ruined, destroyed, broken into 1,000 tiny pieces. He declared that his life was over, that fate had betrayed him, and that the river itself had swallowed his future. He swore that the only sensible thing left to do was to throw himself into the water and disappear forever. His companions tried not to laugh. One of them joked, "Well, at least you still own plenty of water." That did not help. The poor man was crushed. He returned home, sold what little he had left, and soon made a dramatic decision. If fortune would not smile on him in this land, he would leave it behind forever. He announced to everyone that he was going back across the ocean, where at least his pride might survive, even if his money did not. Not long after, he boarded a ship and sailed away, almost as poor as the day he had first arrived, but far wiser. And even now, long after he is gone, if anyone doubts this strange story, they can still be taken out in a small boat to that very spot on the river. The guide will point down and say, "Right there, that's where a man once bought the ocean and thought he had purchased the future."